In the last video, I left off on how your subconscious mind has been programmed ever since you were a baby. And during the crucial developmental years, from when you were born until the age you began to consciously think, your subconscious, since it can only accept, soaked in everything from your environment: thoughts, feelings, images, actions, vibrations, frequencies. And I forgot to mention, but also words in language, the words in the language of your environment. So one way I like to internalize the subconscious and paradigms is to think of language. So when you were a baby, you're like soaking in your environment, like how it communicates, and because that's like super important. And from ages 1 to 3, you begin to speak, but it's with conscious effort. Whereas now, when you communicate, think of like when you communicate to your friend, or you get into an argument with someone. It's like you aren't utilizing your conscious thinking mind to communicate. It's all subconscious, and this is just a really good way to internalize like the subconscious and paradigms, because this example is just for language, but it's for everything. So how does that happen? How does the subconscious get programmed? Inside your subconscious, there's this thing called a paradigm. Your paradigm controls everything. It controls your subconscious, it controls the vibration and frequency you're in, it controls everything. So, what exactly is a paradigm? If you look it up, it'll just tell you a paradigm is like a pattern or a system or whatever. What a paradigm is in your subconscious is a frequency of habit and repeated actions. So, pretty much just like reps when you work out or practice any skill. A good way to internalize what a paradigm is to think of like autopilot or having an autopilot. So back in medieval times, like think of it like this: like back in medieval times, like you had the lord, you had the knight, you had the blacksmith, and you had the princess. Every day they woke up and they knew the role they had to play and what they had to do because of their paradigm, which is made up of frequency of habit and repeated actions. This is one of the main reasons why there wasn't really depression back then. Whatever happened, they knew that they would just wake up the next day and they had their autopilot. Like they would just go on autopilot. So your paradigm controls your subconscious, which controls your mind, which controls your body, which controls your actions, which dictates your results, which dictates your life, and your overall frequency, your overall vibration and frequency. Notice that the conscious thinking mind is not on here. That's because your paradigm doesn't control your conscious thinking mind. Your conscious thinking mind can assert an idea into your subconscious, which, for however brief, can change your vibration and frequency. A really good way to internalize this is to think about coming across someone who really inspires you, or meeting a really pretty girl, or listening to music. So listening to music can change your frequency, your vibration and frequency. For however brief, it can change your vibration and frequency. So your conscious thinking mind has the ability to change your paradigm. Using your conscious thinking mind, you can change your paradigm. In the last video, I mentioned how the conscious mind can accept, reject, and create ideas. How your subconscious can only accept and cannot differentiate between reality and fantasy. The reason you don't live exactly how your conscious thinking mind would, like ideally like to live, is because of your paradigm. Most go through their lives in a sedated, like zombie state, a complete slave to their subconscious, which is controlled by their paradigm. Think about all the times you pick up your phone, doom scroll, tap your vape, whatever. Just like how the baby first makes a conscious effort to communicate, which then becomes an autopilot encoded into your subconscious through frequency of habit and repeated actions. What is first a conscious habit turns subconscious when it gets encoded into your paradigm. Just like I mentioned the archetypes during the medieval times and how they have their own autopilots, you can create your own autopilot, and it can be whatever you want. You can literally be anything you want. This reality is like a video game. You can literally choose whatever identity you want, even if it seems very far from who you are now. But it takes a paradigm shift. You have to consciously change your paradigm.